Good evening, everybody, and welcome to week 3 of the Matt Wilson pregame show. I'm Mike Daggs. Standing alongside me, the ice snob, Gerald Smith. I'm sorry, we were talking about that earlier.
Well, you got to have clean, clear ice. Yes, you do. You can't get that stuff
regular
out of your
old
fridge.
ice out of the machine.
No, man, you got to have a quality machine. Pure ice, clear.
This is what I have to deal with. Anyway, why don't we get into some SFL action instead of talking about ice? But, sometimes we get off topic. Week 2 in the books. Week 3 ready to go. A lot more exciting action happened last week. We broke down a few games. All of them didn't disappoint. They were great.
No, yeah, and we had a lot of teams that actually looked a lot different in week 1 and just completely did a 180 and boost themselves up to what some of us think they should have been started out the season doing, which is winning and winning convincingly.
Yeah, absolutely. So a great slate of games coming up this weekend. Let's go ahead and break those down. So starting off tonight, we've got Arizona taking on Charleston. We've got Petey Zeller and Chad Stinson on the call. So I think last week we dusted off some broadcasters that hadn't called some games in a while. This week we're kind of doing the same thing. We got Petey Zeller on play-by-play. A lot of people probably don't even know that name yet. Hasn't called very many games, and Chad Stinson hasn't called one since.
God, I thought he crawled under a rock and died or something, but here he is. He kind of comes back and get to do some analysis for us.
Absolutely. So that one kicks off at 8 p.m. just about 26 minutes from now. And then arguably the game of the week, Mexico City at Minnesota. Cameron Duty and Alex West on the call. Alex West making his debut broadcast for us here in the SFL tonight on the best game of the week.
Well, it is one of the games that we're going to break down. I think it's more of me breaking it down than you.
I
got some thoughts for that. I got
thoughts. That's our Friday night slate. Saturday, kicking off at 6:30 p.m. Alamo City at Houston. Gerald, you and I are going to call that game. Looking forward to doing that one tomorrow night. 6:45 Indianapolis at Jacksonville. We've got Mark Lopez, John Warren on the call. At 9 p.m., San Diego at Portland, Josh Zirkle and Wade Phillips. We're going to break that game down in just a little bit. And then your Louisiana Revolution at Denver, Eric Vincent, Brandon Walters on the call. That rounds out Saturday. Looking forward to seeing all those games. Any thoughts on?
We're confident, just like we were last week. We're confident, but Denver has been a tough team. I don't think we've ever won in Denver. But hopefully we can turn that around. We're visiting Denver. It's going to be a little bit cold than what we're used to in Louisiana.
City,
but,
yep.
I think we're confident.
All right, well, we'll see what happens. Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Baltimore at Canton. Michael Chirillo and Eddie Gage.
Oh, what?
Dynamic duo right
That's actually two. When's the last time we had two Hall of Famers call a game? I don't think we've ever had it.
Well, if you'd pick up the slack and get in the Hall of Fame, then we could do that every week.
I don't know if I'm Hall of Fame. That's why I'm dressing like I am. I'm trying to get in the Hall of Fame just by dressing up.
You look great.
I
didn't want to get dressed up. It's Aztecs night, baby. I had to wear my jersey.
You're slacking.
I almost took this jersey right out of the case and threw that one on, but it's too small for me. I keep beating food. Anyway, Baltimore Canton, Michael Chirillo, Eddie Gage at 6:30. At 6:45, we got Tulsa at Motor City. Ethan Muslin, Rochelle Colston on the call at 9 p.m. Carolina at DC. Andy Hamilton, and Anthony Ellison. And at 9:15, Los Angeles at Atlanta. The another dynamic duo, Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg on the call. Monday Night Spectacular, Fort Worth at Florida, Cameron Irvine, Charles Doherty. That is going to round out week 3. So all kinds of exciting games. Which one do you want to get into first?
Well, we're going to start with the San Diego-Portland game. Why not? Why not start with that one there? So,
yeah, get a pair of winless teams. So as Matt Wilson would say, the O has got to go. O is going for someone tonight.
It's got to go, and it's got to go. Look, and this is how we're going to start this right here. Now, the last 4 meetings between these two teams, the home team has won. So it's been 2-2. They've been flipping and flopping around. So the home team this time is going to be Portland. So does it give them advantage? Quite possibly. I mean, we'll sit there and find out. But we're going to start breaking down the San Diego Mavericks, right, which is led by quarterback Johnny Pickler and everybody there. And they lost both games this season that they've lost, they started on to by 3 scores.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't looked crisp at all. They've been turning the ball over, quite often. And they actually, it's something that you typically wouldn't expect from a Johnny Pickler led offense.
Right.
Which is, have a lot of turnovers. And they actually have the last ranked offense in total offense and are only averaging 207 yards per game for the offense, which is not good. And they actually struggled, through the first, 2 games. They actually had 8 turnovers across these 2 games, which is 4 turnovers a game.
Yeah, you can't win that way.
It's kind of crazy. Look, and QB1, Johnny Pickler has thrown 7 interceptions, and he had 10 all of last season.
He's almost
thrown
there.
7 interceptions in 2 games. So it's been quite the struggle, right? And they, and the thing that they just need to do is just keep going and also protect Johnny Pickler. He's been under a lot of pressure. He's also been sacked 7 times this season. So when you can't protect your quarterback and you're trying to throw the ball quite often,
that's what's going to lead to picks.
It's just not going to lead to success. So the offensive line has got to step up, protect the quarterback, who was a former Rookie of the Year, right? And he's made 3 All-Star games. He's a guy that actually can lead a team to victory, right? He's done it when his time in London, putting the team on his back and throwing them to the playoffs, just like he did last season in San Diego as well. He put him on his back and he threw his team to the playoffs. So, and that's the thing too. Like, and who he's kind of, I think he's a missing guy on their offense, right? It's Hunter McWaffle. He hasn't had the carries that you would think a running back should get, but he's being productive with those carries. He's actually getting 5 yards per carry on the ground. So I think for them to get the offense going, they're going to have to, utilize him a bit more, go a little bit balanced, protect Johnny Pickler, maybe use the, their run game to their advantage and actually open up some passing lanes for Johnny Pickler. They start looking at, say, hey, look, if Hunter Waffle's getting 5 yards a pop,
you got to give him the ball.
Yeah, and you give him the ball. And not only that, guess what's going to, it's going to open up that passing game for Johnny Pickler,
sure.
right? And give the linebackers kind of sitting back and not attacking the line like they've actually have been.
Right.
So, and defensively, they're struggling as well. They're giving up, average per game over 40 points a game. I know they didn't give up 40 points in both games, but on average, it's 40 points a game, and they're actually, struggling to get off the field on 3rd down. Right? They can't keep allowing their opponents to convert those 3rds down that they have been, because that's when you get your offense back on the field and actually, have your offense hopefully help you out going forward. So, and there's a lot of things to clean up, right? That, so they got to clean up them 0-2. I think they have nowhere to go but up at this point, right? Being 0-2.
Absolutely.
And it can start, tonight. Look, if anybody can motivate his teammates to come to the, stadium on game day and get a win, it's Johnny Pickler. I don't think there's anybody else in the league that actually can motivate his teammates and have them elevate their play than Johnny Pickler. And for them to do it, they're gonna have to start tonight.
All right. Well, that's San Diego. What's Portland got to do?
Well, Portland has also struggled offensively.
They have
right?
both 0-2.
These 2 are just,
2-score losses.
It almost seems like they're having somewhat of a weird competition for who's going to be at the bottom of the league in offense, right?
Yeah.
And they are ranked last in points scored a game, which I mean, what do you need to win games?
You need points.
You need points, and if you ain't scoring them, you ain't gonna win.
You're not gonna win.
And that's the thing that Portland has struggled with, right? We played them last week, and it was a struggle for them to get anything going. I thought at one point, hey, that we wasn't going to let them score a touchdown, right? But they actually scored a touchdown. And guess what it has been? Through the 2 games, they've only scored 1 touchdown, right? So they kicked 3 field goals and scored 1 touchdown, right? And which just brings me to another point. Guess who their leading scorer on their team is?
Who's that?
Their field goal kicker. You cannot have your field goal
not
kicker.
Ezekiel Love then.
No,
Yeah.
You cannot have your field goal kicker leading your team in scoring. That's not a recipe for success. I know, a lot of people think we may have done it with Otis Boudreaux breaking records and stuff, but guess what? We play pretty good defense, right? We wasn't allowing anybody to got to put up a ton of points. So, look, maybe also offensively, I don't know if they need to scheme better because they have the talent there to do it, right? So if they can somehow scheme better on offense, they should be good to go. The defensively, they were not terrible at all, but with the offensive struggles, the defense doesn't have time to rest, right? So they're not putting any points on the board, and the defense is doing what they can, but they still need their offense to be able to improve so they can actually, do what they do, right? And actually stop their opponent. Because they didn't give up a whole ton of points. Yeah, they lost. They gave up a ton of points to us last week. They didn't give up a ton of points to Vancouver the previous week before, right? So the defense is kind of keeping a minute, but the offense just has to improve. But, one thing they're going to have to do tonight is actually run the ball a little bit better because they haven't done it very well with Ezekiel Love. It's kind of hard to say with Ezekiel Love kind of being back there, and kind of running, and stuff like that. But they're also going to have to pressure Johnny Pickler with him being sacked 7 times and throwing that many picks. I think they might be able to force turnovers if they're able to get to Johnny Pickler.
That game will air tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Ezekiel Love, keep an eye on him or tomorrow during the next game. 57 yards away from 10,000 on his career. Got a couple of milestones to point out tonight. That one's the first. These two teams played each other 7 times in the past. Portland leads the series 5-2. It's a divisional matchup. They already both played Vancouver. They both lost to Vancouver, so they both need to win this game.
And it's not over for both of them. I do think Vancouver is the only team in their division that is, undefeated.
So
everybody
far,
else is 1-1. They're not that far behind. Still got a lot of time to win some games to catch up.
Baltimore Canton. We'll talk about this game next. A couple of teams on the opposite side of the spectrum. Both teams doing well. Baltimore, they did stumble out of the gate. They lost a close one to Queen City. Canton destroyed Arizona. There's no way to sugarcoat that. They destroyed Arizona in week 1, convincingly defeated Indianapolis in week 2. It's a North Division showdown tonight. This is the first division game for both of these teams this season. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so in Baltimore, like I said, they kind of stumbled out of the gate after reaching the championship last season, right? So, and losing a,
stumbled
Queen
out
City.
of the gate last season too.
Oh yeah, they did. And you know what happened? It seemed like they just found their stride against my team, which I'm not too happy about. We kind of fumbled it all. It was a whole. Anyway, let's just get back to this week. So
let's talk about what's playing right now.
So they rebound, after they lost to Queen City. And they were dominant with the run game last week, right? They ran all over with the the ball distribution between Warren Murray and Hall of Famer T.R. Gaines back there. It was something of a little bit of beauty, and it was almost reminiscent of how they were able to win their 5 championships. Mm-hmm. They were really efficient. They played good defense. They were efficient. They ran the ball well and they passed it well. Not overwhelming numbers, in the passing game and the run game, but it was just enough to hey, look, we're going to be efficient, and they turned most of those drives into points. So, and that's what you can do when you are that efficient, right? And you have that flow going on offense in the passing game, whatever else. It almost seems like they were able to kind of do what they want. But the true story of this game was defensively. When you play defense like they did and you frustrate, the Seattle quarterback and the offensive line, they just couldn't stop it. They had 8 sacks and 3 interceptions. It was quite the dominant performance.
That'll get you the win.
And what they did, and all that constant pressure that they had on them, it caused all those mistakes to happen, right? The offensive line didn't know what was what anywhere. They couldn't block anybody. And you had, Keenan Samuels was a menace on the outside. Blitz on it. The guy had 4 sacks. Half of the sacks they had on a day, he's coming right off the edge, and they could not pick it up all night long, right? So, look, and the thing that we need to, after the first week and second week, I know, Baltimore has this whole track record of knowing, of everybody knowing that they are one of the most consistent teams in the league. But seeing what they did week 1 and what they did week 2, can they stay consistent like that? Are they going to have, slip ups, like maybe, I know Queen City won't say it's a slip up. They just, bested them.
Queen City won, yeah.
By Baltimore standards, they say that a slip up. Can they not have so many slip ups going forward, right? So, and if they can do that, if they can stay consistent like they were last week, look out SFL.
And Canton, what do they got to do?
Well, Canton is another one. I think right now they probably have the best start of any team that I have personally seen.
They're playing well
in the SFL in a long time.
They're helping me in the pick game, but we'll get to that later.
Right. So look, and it was dominant, right? So and their offense is in the top 10 in points scored and total yards. But they also had the number 1 rushing offense, led by Offensive Player of the Year, who come from Vancouver, in Logan Lee, who is averaging 7 yards a carry. And it was kind of crazy that last week they didn't need him, but he was almost MIA last week, and they didn't need him. But he's averaging 7 yards a carry. I mean, look, there's a reason why he was the Offensive Player of the Year last year by playing like that as a rookie. Right. So he's in the second year, so he's only going to get better from here. So the defense is, in the league has only allowed 165 average yards per game to their opponent. That's impressive. I was speaking with, our commissioner, Cam Irvine. He's like, this might be some sort of a record. I don't know if he found it safe as some sort of a record or anything, but only allowing, back-to-back weeks, no more than, on average, 165 yards to your opponent. I don't know the last time that has ever happened. That's straight dominant, right? And they also, are allowing 3 points per game.
Right. Yeah, I
and
saw
that's
that.
thing. So now they have a shutout.
Shutting out Arizona,
and then they only allowed 6 points last week. And guess what? They have not allowed a touchdown through 2 games. Name any other team in the league that has done that to this point. No one.
Well, I mean, the Aztecs have only allowed a flub special teams touchdown, but I digress.
It's still a touchdown. It don't matter. So, like I said, and this defensive line and this defense
Don't matter,
actually,
he says.
this defense actually lives in the backfield, right? They actually have 21 tackles for losses through 2 games. So when you want to run and you're at the line of scrimmage, they're getting to the quarterback, they're making those tackles behind the line of scrimmage, and that can just spell disaster for anybody. So Baltimore's going to have their work cut out for them, right? And they have been winning, the line of scrimmage consistently. When you win at the line of scrimmage, I know a lot of people around that know professional football know that you win these games in the trenches, and they have been doing it really, really convincingly. So, so far, they are by far, in my opinion, through 2 weeks, the most complete SFL team in the league right now.
They got a big opponent coming up on Sunday. We'll see how they fare. Baltimore has Florida coming up after this, and Canton has Vancouver afterwards. So both teams playing a tough opponent. Big game for them. Jack Wigmore, only 203 yards away from 30,000 on his career. Warren Murray, 46 yards away from 15,000. Couple of milestones potential for Baltimore in this matchup. Game of the week, Mexico City at Minnesota.
It's debatable. It's debatable.
My show.
It's Matt's show.
I'm sorry.
Wait, look, he's
it's
an
Matt's
Aztec.
show. Look at Aztec
Yeah,
logo,
Aztec,
Aztec. Game of the week, baby. So Mexico City, we lost 7 games to start last season in a row. Seemed to figure things out in the second half of the season. Brought in some major talent. I'm sure you're going to touch on that. Minnesota, they started out strong last season, 3-1. They ended their run 1-8 the rest of the way. They lost in week 1, so they're looking to rebound. Only played this team one time in season 21. The Aztecs won it. And go ahead and give us your thoughts.
Well, it's Mexico City, right? But like I like to call it, it's turned into Las Vegas South with the amount of talent they brought in from Las Vegas. 7 former Las Vegas Fury members joined this team, 5 of them on defense, and we're going to touch on the defense here.
Hall of Famer in there?
That's well, you actually got a couple of them actually on that defensive side, and Jeffrey Daggs and Mr.
Well,
Max
we
Jackson.
brought one over.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but look,
We don't play.
they're loaded with talent, right? The offense was good in the run, in their one game this season, and Ray Bentley got over, combined with Buford Van Dam, got over 100 yards combined, so that's good right there, and the beauty thing about it is how this offensive coordinator here, and Mr. Mike Dak, was able to distribute between the fullback and the halfback almost 50-50 carries. It's not often. We're only seeing that one other time this season, in week 1, which was Vancouver with Logan Lee and his counterpart right there. Almost, no, not Vancouver. It was Logan Lee and Robert Johnson down in Canton,
right?
And they actually kind of split it. Almost it was I think 22 carries apiece, but it's pretty good balance right there. But they also had one big free agent signing, and Nori Terrazas got over 100 yards in receiving game in their win, right?
Huge addition for
which
us.
was over half
Yep.
of Jordan Sipes' passing yards.
It sure was.
So look, and Jordan Sipes didn't do anything, anything spectacular, but he found the right guy open. Nori Terrazas coming up, making a huge impact in his first game in an Aztec jersey. And the defense is the strong point of this team, right? That I saw, right? So, like I said, 5 players coming over on the defensive side from Las Vegas, and you have, a ton of all-star appearances between, just the 5 Vegas players that you brought over has more all-star appearances than the rest of your team combined. So,
bringing in talent, man.
If that's not telling you that talent is all over that roster on the defensive side, that should tell you something.
Absolutely.
Right there. So, and that's just, and then not only that, you're bringing guys like Max Jackson. Then you got the defensive player of the year and your linebacker, Mr. Dexter Jackson coming over. And then who else you got in the back? You got a Hall of Famer, Jeffrey Daggs.
Sure do.
Right? So you got Merrick Itera, who's a multi-Hall of Famer, and we already know what Max Jackson's all about and what he does. Probably the most hard-hitting safety the SFL has ever seen.
Leads the league all time in forced fumbles.
And guess what he had in week 1? He had a forced fumble.
Sure did.
Showing everybody he is probably the most hard-hitting safety that the league has ever seen. So
we got about 9 minutes till kickoff. So
I got let me
talk.
Up the pace. Anyway, so here we go. Look, and they showed their strength by only allowing, Motor City to gain 230 yards on the game. So now if yourself, offensive coordinator Mike Dash, can match the intensity and the strength of that defense on offense with his offensive play calling, I think it could spell kind of some disaster for my teams, my fellow, compadres in the South. So in Minnesota, here we go. Minnesota has also struggled, in their first game last week of the season. And it almost seems like they just kind of picked up kind of where they left off last week. They struggled. It looked like they don't really know what they want to be or anything like that. And they just struggled. Colin Hart, right? And he had 12 carries, which only amounted to 1.3 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That's not a very good average at all. So, and they struggled on third down, right? They're only converting 36% on third down on offense. You have to convert on third down to keep the ball moving and get yourself in a position to score, right? The plus was having T. DeQueen, right? She had a career day with 11 receptions, 136 yards and a touchdown, but it can't solely rely on her. They're going to have to get the run game going to get it going. So the balance for them is going to be key, right? And defensively, they played fairly good, given what they were given, right? But they too had struggles on third down. They had 3 interceptions last week, and maybe they can somehow try and, stop you guys from doing what you want to do best. And we're going to find out, but they're going to need to improve in the run game if they want to try to turn the season around.
All right. Arizona, Charleston. We'll break this one down quick. We'll get into our picks.
All right. So Arizona, I think everybody in Arizona wants to forget week 1 where they just got shut out, and they ended up winning the game 41-27 last week. They outscored LA 17-3 in the second half, right? Defense stepped up as well, like the rush defense, right? After allowing 165 yards in week 1, they turned around. They only allowed 32 yards in week 2. Had 3 interceptions, one from Eddie Gage, who still you have to have a pick 6. Love you, Eddie.
You got a pick, not the 6.
Right, exactly. He's got a ton of picks. Probably leads all time.
He had one last week.
So Everett Garrison also had, an interception. And then guess what? One of the best slot corners I think the league has ever seen in Parker Thomas. I know Eddie says it all the time, but that kid is everywhere on the defense, and he just has a knack for being in the way of the ball. So, offensively, they rebounded and everything else, right, to kind of get themselves going. DJ Moses, right? He was, he had 6 yards of carry last week for over 100 yards, which is good. Ashley Jackson threw for 3 touchdowns. And, it
cleaned up the picks, too.
Right. So, and last week, it looked like more of an Eddie Gage coached team than what they did before. That's what in week 1 we expected to see. We saw it last week. And if Arizona can keep that up, they're going to be another force out in their own division.
All right. Well, Charleston had 2 close ones in a row, lost by 3 points. What do they got to do to get over the hump tonight?
Well, they got to finish ball games, right? They got to finish ball games. In week 1, we actually called that game against Florida. They had an opportunity to win, right? They were down 3 points. They were getting themselves close to the red zone, but their offense just couldn't give them what they needed. They had to set up for the field goal, and Florida went down to kick the field goal. Last week, they actually had a 6-point lead, probably with about somewhere between 4 to 5 minutes left, and their defense could not hold it there. But the offense had their chance to go down and put more points on, and they just couldn't. They're going to have to finish games. And defensively, I mean, they played well. They've had 5 interceptions in 2 games, right? And which is keeping them in games. Just in week 1, they had a ton of interceptions and everything else that kind of kept them in there. John Lakeman struggled a bit and everything else, But, they actually lead the league in takeaways. A lot of people might not know that. Them sitting on 2, they lead the league in takeaways. So the defense is pretty strong.
They're doing their part.
Right, on the back end.
Offense has to finish.
Right, so the offense just has to finish and clean a bunch of stuff up. And if they can start finishing games, they should win a lot of games. And defensively, they are good. They just can't. The offense cannot let their counterparts down in their defense. They got to pick themselves up and actually get going and get themselves in a position to win games.
4.5 minutes until we get that game kicked off. But first, we're going to go through our picks. We won't pick the Mexico City game because I don't think I can be impartial. Go Aztecs! Sorry. Had to get that out. I do have to jump back real quick. Colin Hart, as much as it would break my heart, 80 yards away from 15,000 on his career. I hope nothing but the best for you, Colin Hart, in week 4. So, getting to our picks, we'll start with San Diego, Portland. Who's your pick?
I am going to go with San Diego. I believe in Mike O'Neill, what he's able to do. With Dave Access, the running back, Hunter McWafford is going to get us up. Johnny Pickett's going to elevate his teammates to a win tonight.
All right, well, I'm going with Portland. It's 2 teams that are both playing poorly to start the season, but when you compare them, Portland is just playing better football than San Diego. I think Portland gets the win. Baltimore at Canton. Your pick.
Baltimore, I just can't pick against the 5-time champions and what they showed me last week, even though I know Canton's playing good ball. Canton, look, I know it's 2 games in, they're playing good. I even said they're the most complete football team I've seen in the league, but I just think the experience on the Baltimore side is going to get them the win.
I'm going with Canton. And it almost seems like we planned it this way. We don't, actually. But I'm going with Canton. The defense has only allowed, as you said earlier, 6 points in 2 games. Baltimore did put up 62 points over weeks 1 and 2, but I think that they're held in check this week. I think Canton's doing something special right now. I think they shut down the 5-time champs. I think they get the win. Arizona at Charleston, our game coming up just minutes from now. Who's your pick tonight?
It's Arizona. I learned my lesson last week by picking against Arizona. I felt like Eddie made a statement after I said what I said, and if you can probably slap me through the screen, you probably would for picking against him, but I ain't picking against you this week, Eddie. You better not let me down.
I'm also going with Arizona for the same reason that I went with Arizona last week. Eddie Gage gets it done. This is the toughest game of the week for me to pick, but I still maintain that week 1 was a fluke. I think that he figured out what happened in week 1. He fixed every last square inch of it. I think Arizona gets it done, and they keep on winning. And, now that I have taken over offensive coordinator responsibilities for the Aztecs, I feel you, Eddie. When you're pacing around the room looking like you just can't possibly relax, that's what I'm going to be doing in about 17 minutes when the Aztec game kicks off. It's so freaking stressful.
Look, welcome to the coaching world, my friend.
You
mentioned this to me last week and everything else. I said, look, when you have it all on the line, right, and you have so much of your teammates depending on you, put together that good game plan, and guess what? When the problems are there and you're losing, they're looking at you, right? So, hey, look, good for you. You've actually won your first game in week 1.
That's it.
With, being the offensive coordinator, and good luck to you here in week 3.
Thanks very much. We are 1 minute till kickoff. We're going to give it back to Cam so that he can get the game going. How are we going to find out how all these games end up this week? As Matt Wilson would always say, there's only one way to find out, and that's on the field. We'll see you again to kick off week 4. Have a great night, everybody. Enjoy a good weekend of football.
Good evening, my friend, and welcome to Robert Smalls Memorial Stadium, where we are here tonight for a matchup between the Arizona Scorpions and the Charleston Predators. My name is PDJ Zeller. Alongside me tonight will be Chad Stinson, and we have Cam Irvine back in the studio producing this game. And Chad, we have a matchup here between two teams that made the playoffs last season, off to a little bit of a rocky start this year. Chad, break it down for us.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams have had a rocky start. Arizona finally gotten that win column last week that they were looking for. Charleston, not gotten there yet. But I'm not really too worried much about that, their start with that, because these two teams have met 6 times so far. And Charleston has come out on 4 of those, so if you look at history, it kind of leans more towards Charleston, and I think what they're going to have to do is get Lakeman going. And when Lakeman's on his game, Charleston can be a very hard team to beat.
These are two teams that both have playoff aspirations. Arizona, a team that's been featured in the championship game several times over the last few years, several deep playoff runs. However, to start this year, the defense has been looking a little porous here, Chad. They're going to need a good start to this game.
Yeah, they're going to have to lean heavily on that defense, and it's just funny because both these teams have been about the same starting out point-wise, so we'll see who gives up the fewer points today.
All right, the kick is up, and it is away. It will be Arizona starting with the ball here, and it is returned. The ball is brought up to the 25-30, and the tackle is made at the 30-yard line. Returning the ball was the receiver, James Hands. So we'll get a look at the Arizona offense for the first time, led by Ashley Jackson, the 9-year starter for the Arizona Scorpions, longtime quarterback. In the backfield, we will have Bismarck Wright and DJ Moses II. Catching the ball will be Donnie Hands, James Hands, Mike Churchill, and TJ Punk. The tight ends will be Adam Grabkowski and Will Todd. On that offensive line, we have Gene Benazzi, Igor Barbatov, Patrick Kelly, EJ DeQ, and Sean Crooked. Here we go. Jackson comes out under center, 2 receivers to the left-hand side of the field. And Jackson's going to toss it right side. Taking the ball for a gain of no yardage will be Moses.
Yeah, that was actually a good play there for the defense. The tight end comes out, somehow does not see the 2 linebackers and the defensive line coming up, and he goes on to pick up a safety, so they're able to stop that as a pretty short gain.
Here come the I formation, or actually pistol. It's going to be a throw over the middle for Jackson, and it is complete right there over the middle. That will be caught by Donnie Hands, and that was a nice throw and catch to the right-hand side for a first down.
Yeah, Ashley had some really good blocking going on there for her. I mean, it kind of collapsed the pocket a little bit, but she was still able to stand in there, with kind of ice in her veins, and was able to put that ball right through a very small hole.
So a good first down gain will lead to first down and 10 now as Arizona works their way up to their own 40-yard line right in that vicinity. Jackson under center. In the backfield is still going to be Moses. 2 receivers each side of the field, and it's a handoff. Moses goes up the middle, big gap, spin move. Moses is going to fight for extra yardage and will gain 9 on the carry, and it will be second down in inches.
That was a very good run by Moses, and what really led that off, and I'm going to give a shout out to some guys that really don't, is your offensive line. They were able to open up a big hole for him to get upfield and get that spin move and almost get that first down today.
Arizona looking like they might run again, have a fullback in the backfield for blocking now. Jackson going to motion the fullback, right-hand side of the field. That fullback is Jay Ballmer. Jackson is going to hand it off, this time to Moses. Actually, that was not Moses. I believe that was Wright, and Wright gained nothing. Let me introduce you to the defense here for the Charleston Predators. On that defensive line at end is Anthony Robertson and Dan Dash. In tackle is Anthony Ellison and Forrest Dalton. The linebackers, Jack Brown, Mo John Tana, and Gino McFly, Khalil Thomas. And we'll hold that thought as there's a toss to the right to Moses. Moses fights forward for extra yardage. Moses gains about 5-6 on the carry. It's going to be second down and 3. And to finish my thought, Mark Martin at corner, Adam Nold at corner, Corey Menner at corner. And the safeties are Matt Ryan, Sam Blotner, Jacob Clear, and John Stamengo, starters for the Predators. Here we go. It's second down and 3. 2 backs in the backfield, a wing set, and it's going to go handoff this time to Wright. Bismarck Wright up the gut, will gain first down yardage. And Chad, looks like Arizona rather, trying to establish the run game here early.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to establish the run game. They've had a total of, looking right, maybe 2 or 3 pass plays, so they're just slowly wearing down this Charleston defense early.
Jackson looks to pass. Jackson has all day in the pocket, has a ton of time, throws over the middle, finds a receiver. It is caught by Hands over the middle of the field, and a good completion there to James Hands for the first down. Great protection there for Jackson.
Well, that was great protection. I mean, she had all day to stand back there. The offensive line was just taking down defensive guys, knocking them down. And then her and Hand hooked up again. I think that was like maybe the second time today that she's targeted him so far. So they're getting pretty balanced, but we'll see how they go the rest of this drive.
First down and 10. Jackson once again comes out. Pistol formation. 2 receivers on each side of the field. Defense stacking the box. Here we go. It's going to go to Moses up the gut. And Moses fights forward for extra yardage. Gain 6. Moses has been running physically here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Moses has been getting Arizona into really good sets for like a second down. And he's starting to make this more manageable as he's going through for, 3, 4, 5 yards at a time.
Jackson once again under center. He's been solely under center this whole drive as they're down to the 10-yard line with a 2nd and 4. He's going to send the receiver into motion. That is TJ Punk. Punk now left-hand side of the field. Jackson assures that Punk gets set and will take the snap. It's going to go up the gut. This time it will go to Bismarck, and Bismarck will pick up the first down yardage, and it is first down and goal for the Scorpions.
Wow. This offensive line, I've got to give them a great call out because they have been doing a phenomenal job with this run game, just opening up holes this drive and giving them plenty of room to get through.
Here we go, first down and goal. Heavy set on the offensive line, and the defense looks like they're going to bring pressure here to mitigate the run game. Jackson, over the middle, has a receiver wide open, and it's bobbled in the end zone there by Will Todd, the tight end. Jackson had her man, but did not bring it in.
Yeah, Will Todd was wide open back there, and Eddie throwing the flag, but not Eddie. I'm sorry.
The challenge flag is thrown. Let's take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com here, Chad.
He wasn't in. I mean, he had the bobble, and by the time he had, controlled the ball, he was already out of the back of the end zone. So I don't see this being overturned for any reason.
That looked pretty cut and dry to me, like he was out of bounds there, but we will see what the officials say. I do think that is going to be a waste of a challenge, and it would appear that indeed is a waste of a challenge. And yeah, I understand why you challenged that there, but it's pretty clear the right foot is out of bounds.
Oh, clearly, before he ever gained possession, he was out of bounds. So not a timeout you want to lose this early.
2nd and goal. Let's see if they go back to the running game. I like the play call on first down, trying to catch the defense off guard, and it almost worked if the catch was able to be made. So 2nd down and goal. Moses in the backfield, I do believe. And it will go to Moses. Moses right side, good blocking, and a spin move gone awry. It'll be 3rd down and goal from about the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I feel like if Moses would have just, stayed straight and not tried that spin move, he could have got real close, if not got into that end zone with the blocking he had. So we'll see maybe if that stop gives Charleston a little bit of a push to go ahead and just not give up more than 3 points here.
3rd goal. Playbook wide open here for the Scorpions. And it's going to be run. Moses up the middle. Moses fighting towards the goal line, will not get it. Defense shuts him out there, and it'll be 4th down and goal. And the Charleston Predators defense bent, but they did not break.
Yeah, and I truly believe it had everything to do with the play right before this one where they were able to stop it short, and they come back and do it again 2 plays in a row.
Here will be the field goal attempt for Arizona. It is up, and it is good. A little closer than maybe they would have liked there by J.T. Delaney, and it will be a 3-0 lead for the Scorpions here in the first quarter.
As a field goal kicker that close, when you kick one that close to the bar, you really start, your heart jumps. You can feel your blood pressure rise, and that is a little closer than he definitely wanted that to be.
If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved at simulationfl.net. And here we go, Chad. This will be our first look at the Charleston offense, and this offense is led by 3rd quarterback, 2nd year on the team. John Lakeman, who's had an impressive start to his career. Offensive Rookie of the Year his first year in the league, an all-star last year. What hasn't Lakeman done so far in his career? They're going to come out I formation, the back in the backfield. I believe that's going to be Saren Storm. And the ball will go to Storm. Storm up the gut, makes a nice move, gains 5 yards on the first down run. Here's the rest of the offense before we hear from Chad. Nick Hogland is the backup running back. The fullbacks are Terrell Sutherland and Brad Taylor Wright. The receivers are Honus Odeby, Ian Francis, Breddington James, Davius Reed, and Benjamin Warner. The tight ends are Leon Sandcastle and Xavier Solomon. And, well, first let's get this play. In I formation once again, Lakeman going to hand it off to, this time, Saren Storm again, and that run does not really go anywhere. Oh, that was actually the Nick Hoagland was on the carry there. And to finish up the offensive line shored up by center St. Nubakuzner, Finley James, Leroy James, Perrin Ibarra, and DeBrickshaw Molyneux. So it'll be 3rd down and 6. Lakeman comes out I formation once again, and Lakeman's looking to throw. Good protection. Lakeman rolls out of the pocket and runs right into a sack there. And that was more on Lakeman, I'd say, than the defender. But nonetheless, David Tilley gets a sack and will force a punt.
Yeah, that was actually a really good play by Tilley. He was able to get off his guy. As Lakeman comes out, Tilley's just right there waiting on him as Lakeman comes around that corner thinking, okay, I may have to run on this one. And all he saw was big old Tilley right in his face.
A good start for the Arizona defense that we were talking about has had issues this season, and now we'll get an Eric Blueberry punt. So Blueberry, punt is up and away with 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And that one is brought more yards than it was before. That return by TJ Punk.
It was really good coverage, actually, by the coverage team to not let that get too out of control. I think he got like 3 or 4 yards maybe, so great coverage by the punt team.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 in Arizona with the ball in good field position here at the 44-yard line. Let's see what the offense can do. A disappointing drive last time. They drove all the way down to the 1-yard line, but had to settle for a field goal. Let's see what Jackson and company can do. Jackson under center, and it's going to be a toss play right side. Nobody's on that, and it is going to be Bismarck Wright with a solid carry of 3 yards. Secondary did a good job getting back to cover that play.
Yeah, secondary did good, but it still took about 3 people to bring him down because once he got that head of steam going, he ran over at least 2 people before they were able to, all 3 kind of team up to take him down. That was hard running by him.
Bismarck Wright in the backfield once again, and it will go to Wright, and he goes up the field for maybe 2 yards. Not much of doing there. It's going to be 3rd down and 5 now as the Predators defense looks to get off the field.
Yeah, they're getting real close. They're playing good, but Arizona's still leaning on that run game because Charleston still hadn't proved that they can stop it. So this is probably more than likely going to be a pass play at 3 and 5.
Jackson under center. 2 receivers out left. And a man into motion. That is going to be James Hands, the big receiver. Defense is going to drop back and pressure. Jackson looks to throw, throws over the middle of the field, and it is bobbled and not reeled in there. It hit the hands of TJ Punk, but Punk could not reel it in.
Yeah, I think TJ Punk, when he went to catch it, kind of took his eyes off of it because it looked like he was already starting to turn to head upfield. And just as a receiver, if it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it. You got to catch those kind.
So Charles McLongfellow will be the punter here, a rookie punter for the Scorpions team. Charleston's defense doing a nice job getting the ball back for their offense. So here we go. The punt is off and away. It'll be fielded down near the 12-yard line. It is brought up the field for a gain of about 5 yardage there, and it will be 1st and 10 from the Charleston 18-yard line for Charleston.
Yeah, you look up as the returner, you catch the ball and you look up, and all you see is a sea of white jerseys in front of you, and you're just thinking, where are my blockers? I don't know what happened to the return team, but there were no blockers for him to try to get any more yards than what he got there.
So Lakeman and Co. will look for a better shot at it here this time. They come out I formation. Saren Storm is the back in the backfield. 2 receivers on the left side of the field. They're going to send a man into motion. I believe that was Brad Taylor Wright. No, actually, I apologize. That was Honus Odeby. And it's going to be a run up the gut. With a good lane there, gained about 5 yards on the first down run. It's 2nd down and 5.
That was a great run, great blocking. I want to say wasn't real sure of the number because I couldn't see it, but his lead blocker gets out there to the 2nd level, catches that linebacker, and there just wasn't anybody until one of the safeties could get up to stop him.
2nd and 5. Lakeman. Once again under center defense. Might be stacking the box here, and they do. And it's going to be a good run here, though, for Hoagland. Hoagland's going to get close to first down yardage. It is going to be 3rd and inches here as Hoagland had a good carry.
Yeah, watching this game, it looks like both teams are kind of leaning towards that run game a little more than their pass game. So this could be just one of those old-timey, grind-them-out, smash-mouth football type of games we're going to watch.
Charleston comes out. I have to say, I love that helmet and uniform combination. Beautiful here. Lakeman going to hand it off to Sarin. Sarin fights for hard yardages, puts the shoulder pads down, and gets 5 on the run. First down, Charleston here with those beautiful unis.
Man, this is some hard running by Charleston right now. I mean, he fought for every yard he got there, even rolling over a defensive player to gain about 2 more yards than what he would have had.
Hoagland is the back. Different. This isn't the I formation we've been typically seeing here. Lakeman under center. He will go to Hoagland. Hoagland met at the line of scrimmage, loses a yard, we'll say. It's going to be 2nd down and 11. And I have to say, one thing you and me talked about off air, Chad, was we felt like the Charleston team is at its best when the offense gets going, or the passing offense gets going. But we haven't seen that yet.
No, we really hadn't seen we saw it, I think, one pass their last drive, and it just really didn't go the way they wanted to. So they really kind of need to do a few more pass plays this half.
Lakeman really is a quarterback that thrives when he gets in a good rhythm. Here we go. 2nd down and 11. Wing formation, 2 receivers, right side. Lakeman looking to pass. Lakeman steps back in the pocket, throws over the middle, and delivers a strike. That will be caught for a first down there by the receiver, Benjamin Warner.
That was a great catch by Warner, but that was even better with Lakeman in the pocket. I mean, his pocket collapsed. He looked up, and he had about the whole Arizona line in his face, and he was still able to concentrate enough to set his feet and throw it a strike right down the middle of the field.
That was a great curl route there by Warner. He just turned right around at the perfect time to catch that ball. Lakeman throwing again over the middle into heavy traffic, and it is caught. Once again, that is Warner, maybe his favorite target here early in the first quarter with 30 seconds to go. It'll be 2nd and 1.
We make a comment about how they hadn't thrown that much, and here's Lakeman right after we say that, connecting 2 about the middle of the field, and 1, I don't know how he even threw it into that much traffic.
I formation, 1 receiver lined up outright. And it'll be a handoff to Hoagland. Hoagland, I don't think he got it. It's going to be 3rd and inches. Hoagland could not quite get there, and that might be the last play of the.
Yeah, I don't think he got it either. It's going to be close. We'll see. I don't see no challenge flag coming out, but that was real close to being a first down.
Well, in the first quarter, the score is Arizona 3, Charleston 0. We'll be right back at the end of this break. Welcome back, my friend. PDJ Zeller here alongside Chad Stinson with Cam Irvine back in the studio. It is 3rd and inches here as Charleston, for the first time this game, gets on the Arizona side of the field. They come out with a pistol. They're going to give it back to Sarin Storm, and Sarin Storm puts the shoulder pads down again and fights for the first down. It's 1st and 10 as Charleston keeps grinding this drive out.
Yeah, they're just eating clock on this drive, and we'll see if it comes up with anything. But again, not that many pass plays. They need to go back to it. It started working a little bit, but they went back to the run.
1st down and 10. Lakeman looking to pass, throws right side, and a good passing route. No, the receiver is going to cut back up the field and fights for extra yardage. First there. Great, fantastic play. That was Davius Reed, and at first that looked disastrous, Chad, because he caught his footing in the backfield, but he fought back up the field for extra yardage.
Yeah, he caught the ball, started running backwards, and in my mind I'm going, Reed, what are you doing? Why? You can't do that. And somehow he turns that into a positive gain. That was a really good running by Reed.
2nd and 1. It's going to go to Hoagland. Hoagland fights for hard yardage and picks up the first down. It's 1st and 10, so now we're seeing a nice complementary passing game to accompany this run game.
Yeah, it's about time that they started to complement that run game a little more. It's working for them. They're now starting to make that Arizona defense question, okay, what are they going to do now? Is it going to be a run? Is it going to be a pass? And Arizona right now just doesn't know what to do.
1st down and 10. It's a handoff, this time to Sarin Storm. Storm goes up the middle for a 2-yard gain. It is 2nd and 8.
Great blocking. Storm gets through the line, but then he meets one man on that field you don't want to meet to stop him for 2 yards, and that's the Hall of Famer Eddie Gage.
2nd and 8. I formation once again. Lakeman under center. The back is Saren Storm. 2 receivers now left, and looking to pass is Lakeman. Lakeman throws it to Storm, and Storm is met at the line of scrimmage there. Great coverage there by the defense.
Yeah, Garrison on that play saw what was coming, stayed home like he should have, broke down, made a great open field tackle for a no-gain play.
So now it is going to be 3rd down and 8. Under center, Lakeman. 2 receivers each side of the field. Defense stacking right side. Lakeman looking to sling it. Lakeman over the middle, throws in. Oh, just past the hands of his receiver. He was looking there for his man, but just could not quite put the ball there, but the receiver was open.
Yeah, I think Lakeman got in a little bit of a hurry because on that play he kind of threw off of his back foot while he was still moving. He got a little nervous. Pocket started to collapse from his right side, which would have been his blind side, and he just overthrew the receiver.
Well, here's a 42-yard attempt by Brad Bichette to try to tie the game up, and it is good right down Broadway. The game is now tied 3-3 as Charleston is able to get a field goal on the board.
So far, though, this has been a really good grind-em-out game. I thought he kind of was going to miss that one at first, the way I was looking at it, because it looked like the ball started to go left, and then it just kind of curved back right.
Yeah, I agree. That looked a little sketchy at first, but it curved back in, and a good kick there. So Arizona will get another chance here after having a 3-and-out last time they possessed the football. We'll get to see Ashley Jackson and company take back over here. As this kick is off and away. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year, and there's nobody else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of the SFL or SFL minor league action and help the channel grow through your support. So here we go, another look at the Arizona offense.
So coming out, Ashley Jackson as the quarterback. She's been about 50% on her throws so far, so we'll see if that continues or if they're just going to stick to that run game. Are they going to go with the pass first off, which personally I would, because I'm sure Charleston's coming out expecting a run right off the bat.
Jackson under center. In the backfield, she's accompanied by one back. I believe that's Moses. And it'll be a toss play right side to Moses. There's a flag on the play. Moses gains 2 yards, but hold your horses here, folks. There's a flag. I know, that is a killer penalty right there, Chad.
Wow, clipping's not usually something you see when a flag is thrown in that area that early. Usually it's an offensive holding call, but right there is the clip. I mean, you can't do that right off the bat. We'll see what happens. Just you got to let that go on, because now you're facing 1st and 25, so they know it's probably going to have to be a pass coming out, so they'll be expecting that.
1st and 25, 1st and a country mile, I'll call it, is Jackson. He's going to toss once again. This time she'll go right side to Jay Ballmer. Ballmer gains 4 yards at 2nd and 21. And on 1st and 25, I do question a little bit the fullback toss play there, but it might have caught the defense off guard there, Chad, so you never know.
Yeah, it could have easily have caught the defense off guard. That was a great open field tackle, because had that not been there, he would have probably been gone for a few more yards than what he was able to get.
2nd and 21, a man in motion for Jackson. 3 receivers out right. Jackson looking to throw, rolls out left. Jackson throws deep over the middle, and it is caught. 1st down yardage there. A nice throw and catch for TJ Punk, making up for the drop on the last drive.
Yeah, that was a great way for TJ Punk to get back into his rhythm, was to catch that, because that was in between 2 Charleston defenders. And great throw by Ashley. I mean, she rolls out, turns, sets, and fires right between the numbers of TJ as he's downfield to pick up that 1st down after a penalty, making it 1st and 25.
Nice job by Ashley there, and that's her veteran presence showing off, not panicking when greatly behind the sticks. Jackson, once again, will send a man into motion. It's Mike Churchill, first-year receiver on this team. Looking to pass, Jackson. And will throw over the middle and just past the outstretched hands of a defender there. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. Looks like she might have been bumped on the throw.
Yeah, it looked like about the time she got set and started to throw her center was actually bumped into her, so it kind of threw the throw off. And the free safety was right there, but he just wasn't able to hang on to it, and that could have been easily been a pick going the opposite direction.
2nd and 10. I believe that's Moses in the backfield. It will be a pass. Jackson throws over the middle, and a nice throw and catch there to Churchill, who gains 6 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Good little play over the middle.
Yeah, it was a good play. It looked like she had kind of may have been looking a little further downfield, but realized Churchill was open coming across the middle, which is hard to do as a receiver to catch a ball there because you know you're almost always going to get hit immediately after your hands on it. So good hanging on to the ball by Churchill.
Jackson throws again, 3rd and 4. Rolls out left, and she is sacked in the backfield. Big sack there by the Charleston defense. And who else on that sack but number 46? As I'm pulling up the name here on that player, it is Sam Blotner, the free safety.
Yeah, that was Sam Blotner. Kind of came on almost I would almost call a delayed blitz. And as Ashley comes out like she normally does, you'll notice when she rolls, she'll have to stop, turn, and Sam was there on top of her before she was even able to make that stop to turn to throw.
Great job there by the safety, getting in the backfield for the sack. Here is the punt, and it is off and it is away. It is a good punt deep down the field, and it will not be fielded at the 10. It takes a bounce into the end zone, and it will be fielded at the 20-yard line here for Charleston, where the offense will take over once again with 5:16 to go in the second quarter. I got to say here, Chad, this is a little bit more low scoring than we expected. I mean, Arizona put up 47 points last week. Charleston has been averaging, well, they've scored 20 in both their first 2 games. This one's off to a slow start.
Yeah, but both teams have averaged about 20 points a game this season anyway, so I'm not too worried about it being too low scoring. I'm sure we'll probably get there. I'm guessing overall the game's going to have about 40 points maybe at most.
1st down and 10. The over-under 45.5 is in danger. Throw, and it's picked off left-hand side. This one's going to be returned down to the 10-yard line, and a fantastic play there in the secondary. That was Iverson Gamble on the interception. Takes it down to the 10-yard line. Arizona in business.
It looked like Lakeman, when he went to throw, he threw it right to him. And great play on defense. Charleston, though, better be happy that Honus was there and was able to chase him down, because that was going to be 6 points had Honus not been able to catch him when he did.
I think almost might have been a communication between the quarterback and receiver, because Reed turned, and it just looks like that's not where Lakeman expected him to turn. So 1st down and 10 at the 11-yard line. Ashley Jackson under center in the I formation, looking to throw. Jackson throws, and there's going to be a flag. That might be pass interference there, Chad.
That's going to be pass interference. I mean, the defensive guy never once turned around to look to make a play on the ball. He immediately went in to tackle the receiver.
Now that will set up Arizona with a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line, and things just keep getting better here. Let's watch a replay there, and yeah, you just can't do that. Just put his back to the ball there, and that flag 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, that's unusual for Mark Martin to do. I mean, that's not the type of player he is. I just don't know if he got confused or what happened, but you just got to watch those type of plays.
1st and goal for the offense from the 3-yard line. Jackson comes out I formation. Charleston, as expected, stacks the box. Single man coverage left-hand side. Jackson looking to throw. Has good protection in the pocket. Throws, and that could have been an interception. Ashley Jackson got away with one there, as that one hit right in the hands of the Charleston defender, and Khalil Thomas could not bring it in.
Yeah, Ashley, she had all day. That was kind of almost a curl route there, and I don't think she ever saw Thomas behind him. And when she went to throw, Thomas did an amazing break on the ball and just could not hang on to it.
Missed opportunity for the Charleston defense. 2nd down and goal. Moses in the backfield. Jackson will hand it off. Moses met at the line of scrimmage, and he's taken back. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 3. Defense makes a nice stop there, and it looks like Arizona starting to lean a little bit more towards the pass. Obviously, they didn't pass last play, but we've seen a lot of passes lately.
Yeah, that was Jack Brown that actually came up and made that stop on that play, and that was a great play by Brown. And we're going to see maybe if they bend again and they're able just to hold Arizona to 3 points.
I formation, 3rd down and goal. 2 receivers out left for Jackson. She hands it off. Moses with a lane, but is taken down, and a fantastic tackle is made there by Jack Brown, and Jack Brown saves the drive there and forces the field goal attempt.
I mean, you got to look at this in Charleston's view. This is a win for them. I mean, Arizona started on this side of the field and still could not put 6 points up on the board because of this Charleston defense.
The kick is up, and the kick is good, and Arizona will take a 6-3 lead off the leg of JT Delaney. And for Charleston now, they have a lot of time to try to drive down the field and take the lead or tie it. Remember, Charleston does get the ball at halftime, so for Charleston here, maybe it's going to go for the 2-for-1 with 4:15 to play in the first half.
Yeah, you want to, personally, I would take as much time off, not to give Arizona the ball back one more time. Take as much time as possible, so we'll see if they do it. Maybe they can get 3 points and then come back and get the ball at the beginning of the next half.
Ball is returned from the zone end zone, taken up to the 25. Good return up to the 27-yard line, and that is where the Charleston offense will take over, as Ian Francis was able to return that one up to the 29-yard line. It's called officially.
Now, Lakeman, he's been in the league long enough. This isn't going to be a rookie quarterback that's going to come out and be rattled because of an interception. So we should see him come out and be the Lakeman, hopefully, that we know that he can do. He's got 4-10 to drive this team down the field and score 6 points.
Hoagland in the backfield. A lot of time. All 3 timeouts. Lakeman looking to throw. Lakeman slings it over the middle, and it is caught for a good reception over the middle of the field. That one was brought in by Xavier Solomon, the tight end. And Solomon is a first-year addition to this team. He was formerly on the Carolina Skyhawks, and now comes to this team, makes a big first down grab.
That was a great, he breaks in, comes across, Lakeman rolls out, notices his pockets collapsing, and still has the wherewithal to get it across the field and down to Solomon's hands.
Lakeman comes out, wing set, under center. Looks like Arizona might stack the box here. Sending a man into motion now is Lakeman. Avius Reed will go right-hand side. Looking to throw again is Lakeman. Lakeman, good protection, throws left, and oh my goodness, that one should have been picked off. He put that right in the hands of Terrell Davis. Davis, though, not able to bring it in, and Lakeman gets away with a pick 6.
Yeah, Lakeman never saw Terrell Davis there, because Terrell did an amazing job of just kind of tailing behind the receiver. So when Lakeman threw it, he just wasn't close enough to the receiver to be able to hang on to the ball.
2nd down and 10. In the backfield, it's Hoagland once again. Lakeman up center. Looking to pass. Lakeman steps back, throws over the middle, and once again, that hit a defender in the hand. And I'll tell you what, Chad, Lakeman just does not look comfortable. He's getting good protection, but he's running away from pressure that's not there and just throwing just poor throws right now.
Yeah, that Arizona defensive line is just throwing this offensive line backwards, so it's making Lakeman have to scramble and throw off that back foot right now, and he threw that one almost right into the hands of Lawless.
I think he needs to take a deep breath right now and just focus in. 3rd down and 10. Lakeman could make up for the big play here. Lakeman looking down the field, has good protection, rolls out, throws deep over the middle, and it's caught down the center of the field here, and this one's going to play Donnie Hands for the 70-yard touchdown. Charleston on top.
Yeah, that was a great pass play, actually, and when he threw the ball, I thought maybe it might be intercepted. I want to say maybe it was the safety that came up, went to try to intercept it, misses the interception, and there just wasn't anybody there after that, and he was just gone to the races, and nobody could catch him. Great play by Charleston there.
And that one goes all the way. See you later, as that is a big touchdown there, and now they go on top with a 9-6 lead. And I apologize, that was actually Honus Hodeby. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong roster there. That was my apologies. As we are going to get a kick here, and the kick is a little closer than they probably would like to see there, but the Bretchick kick is good.
That's twice that he's kicked that thing off to the left, and I don't know if he's got like a curveball kick going on, maybe a slider. A little weird to see, and it just makes me a little nervous watching him kick.
Yeah, same here. That was not ideal, but it went in regardless. Here's the
little knuckleball going on.
Turner. It is brought up the center of the field, up to the 25, where the tackle was almost made, and now is eventually made there. As we will see Arizona back over now down as TJ Punk brings it up to the 25-yard line.
And see, I know Charleston just scored, but you can't really rest on Arizona because you still do have a very good veteran leading this offense in Ashley Jackson. And you also got Will Todd, who can make plays too. So you got to watch those two when they come out. They still got plenty of time to go ahead and put 6 more points and take that lead back. I get the feeling maybe they're probably going to come out and run. They still got a little time to play around with that and wear this defense down a little bit more.
Jackson and Co. A lot of time here. 13, 2 timeouts. They have a lot of time to get down the field. Jackson's going to toss right side. That one is going to be going absolutely nowhere. As DJ Moses II just could not find anything there.
And it looked like Charleston was expecting that run, and everybody just kind of came up to the line, stayed at home, and when he caught the ball and looked up, there were just 3 Charleston players right there in his face.
2nd and 10, no back in the backfield. Bunch set out right. Jackson looking to throw. Jackson throws left side and finds a wide open receiver, and that's caught down the sideline for a first down by James Hands.
That was actually a really good catch by Hands, because if you saw Ashley Jackson, kind of high pointed him there a little bit more than he probably wanted, and he was able to haul the ball in after bobbling a little bit, or he could have probably gained a few more yards.
I like the play design there. Show the bunch set right, then throw it to the single man on the left side of the field, taking him to essentially a one-on-one situation. Down and 10. Moses in the backfield. Audible at the line of scrimmage by Jackson. Saw something in the defense she wanted to change. Jackson looking to throw. Stands in the pocket all day. Throws center of the field, and it is not caught. It is dropped there, as that one did hit the hands of Todd, but a hard hit jarred the ball loose.
Yeah, great play by Mark Martin there. As soon as the ball got there, his pads were hitting Will Todd right in about the kidney area. And as a defensive player myself, when you hit somebody in the kidneys about the time the ball gets there, 9 times out of 10, they're going to drop it, and Mark Martin just got there at the right time to stop that play.
2nd down and 10 now. Jackson, I formation. It'll be a handoff. This one goes to Moses. Moses with a nice spin move there for a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd and 4.
I want to point out that the offensive line difference between the two teams, Arizona's offensive line is really physical this game. You know, they hadn't been blown off that line much, and they're able to make holes and protect that quarterback. So that's probably going to go a long way later on in this game as to how it turns out.
Back on the other side of the 2-minute warning, Jackson under center. Just past their own 50-yard line are the Scorpions. Sends Punk into motion. Moses is the back. Jackson is going to look to throw. Throws over the middle of the field, and it's caught by Punk. That's a first down, and Arizona methodically moving down the field.
It looked like on that play that Ashley didn't get completely set, but still was able to fire it over, and somehow it looked like Punk caught it one-armed as he got spun around at the same time and was still able to hang on to the ball. That was an amazing play by Punk.
First down and 10, and really all the time in the world. 1:44 to go here. 2 timeouts for the Scorpions. They probably want to use up a lot of this clock because we talked about it. The Predators do get the ball at the half. Arizona would like to take the lead here and not give Charleston any time. They toss it to Moses. Moses left side, and a great gain there for a first down. Moses starting to find his footing here late in the first half.
Yeah, this is starting to look like the Moses we saw at the very beginning of the game, where you just can't stop him once he gets going. And he does a spin move, gets hit about the time he starts a second spin move, which was able to help gain about another 3 yards after the hit.
11 carries, and here is one this time Balmer. Balmer gains 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Timeout is called, and I believe it is by the Scorpions.
Yeah, the Scorpions are really leaning on that toss play for Moses to get that speed going, because that's probably about the 3rd, maybe 4th one I've seen this drive. And it's been a really good play for them against this Charleston defense, because it's just spreading that defense out more.
Jackson under center. Looking to pass. Jackson throws over the middle of the field. Has a man wide open, but a hit stick tackle there breaks the ball loose, and it's 3rd and 7.
Man, what a hit. Again, that's another one that the defensive player gets there about the time that the ball gets there. And that was just a really great hit by Sam there again to break up another pass play long down the field.
3rd down and 7. In field goal range is Arizona, but they want 6. Jackson going to have 2 receivers each side. Sends a man into motion, Will Jackson. Cripps to the left. Looking to pass. Jackson throws over the middle of the field, and that pass just a little bit too long for their field goal attempt upcoming.
Yeah, it just seemed like Ashley just got in a rush, overthrew the ball, and she's going to know what happened there. She'll fix that later on. So they're just going to settle for the 3, go into this hopefully tied.
Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and kick is good. Delaney responsible for all 9 points in the first half for the Scorpions. Now 1 minute and 3 seconds, 3 timeouts, and the wind at their back for Charleston.
Yeah, if Arizona keeps having to lean on these field goals, this game is not going to be what they want it to be. They're going to have to start getting in that end zone.
Well, it's not like they haven't been close here, Chad, too. You know, in the first drive of the game, for a field goal. They got that interception, got down to the 2-yard line, had to settle for a field goal. They're knocking out the door, but they just cannot kick it in.
Yeah, that Charleston defense is just, they've been, but they have not broke yet this game, so we'll see if that continues.
Good return here. That's up near the 30-yard line. Will not quite be for Francis, and they'll take over their own 29-yard line. And Chad, we talked before this game. This is 2 teams that are kind of trying to find their identity here. 2 playoffs last year, off to a rough start this year. And this game has kind of shown that for both teams at the same time, but somebody has to win it.
Yeah, I know Arizona, they went out and they handled LA pretty well last week, but I still don't feel that they have found their identity yet. And it's kind of showing a little bit in this game, and Charleston's kind of the same way. They're still looking for that. Are we going to be kind of a run team or more of a pass team?
Lakeman under center, wing set here, 1st down and 10, and it'll be a delayed handoff. That goes to Saren Storm. Storm gains 6 yards on the carry, and it's 2nd down and 4 as the clock continues.
Yeah, that handoff, Storm got through that line through the smallest possible hole he could find and still gained plenty of yards to make this a manageable 2nd down.
2nd and 4, clock down to 37 seconds now. Lakeman taking his time, and it's going to be a handoff again to Storm. Storm goes up the gut and does not gain much there, and that was actually Hicks on the carry, my apologies. But it's a 1st down carry, and now with 26 seconds left, it almost looks like Charleston's just content going to halftime.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that run was designed to go more towards the right side of the field, and then Hicks noticed there was a hole on that left side, and he darted right towards it.
Going to be a handoff again. Storm up the middle, and with 8 seconds left, Storm up to the 45-yard line, and Charleston going to let it go to the half here, Chad. So at the half, Charleston leads 10-9 over the Scorpions. We're going to take a halftime break. Do not go anywhere, my friend. This one's a doozy. And in that first half, just a lot of running we saw early on. And then the game kind of shifted towards the passing offense here, Chad. It really seemed to kind of take a shift around the 2nd quarter mark.
Yeah, I mean, Lakeman's about a few yards off, I think, of being 100 yards. But it did take that shift to the pass, but now it seems like it's shifting back towards that run game. So I kind of like it because it is one of those old school, mostly run, stop it if you can type of games for both teams right now.
Well, I'm curious to see this Arizona offense can finally punch it in. We've talked about it, Chad. They're very good at getting the ball down the field. They've been effective. They just have not been able to finish off drives, and that'll kill you in a game.
Oh, especially against a team like Charleston. I know, Charleston is 0-2, but they're that type of team that if you don't get it in the end zone, they can still, even though they're having their own troubles, they still can beat you very easily.
All right, let's see here. This is going to be the kickoff. The kick is up and it is away. And it'll be fielded in the end zone. He will be taken. Chad Charleston with a chance here to maybe take a grasp on this game, and nobody has had a firm grasp on this game. Charleston with a first shot.
Yeah, and as we saw the first, once Lakeman got going, Charleston was able to go down and punch it in the end zone. So if Lakeman can get going early this second half, Arizona's going to have a hard time keeping up with him once he steps on that gas pedal.
Charleston takes over. Lakeman got in a groove at the end of the first half. Let's see if he can keep it going here into the second half. It's going to be a handoff up the gut to Storm. Storm, really nothing doing there. It's going to be a 1-yard carry for a 2nd down and 9 upcoming.
Yeah, they opened up that hole in the defense, but Diggs meets him right there, stops it for 1 yard. We'll look to see maybe if they continue trying to push the ball at the run game, which it looks like they're going to with this I formation.
I formation, Lakeman looking to sling. Lakeman throws, nice toss over the middle of the field. That's complete to Davius Reed for a 1st down, and a nice touch pass there by Lakeman.
Yeah, great play. Cornerback was kind of playing off of him. Noticed that he was going a little further back, turned, stops, comes back for the ball. Great play, gets the 1st down. Move the change, let's go to the next one. Keep this drive alive.
It's going to be I formation here. Lakeman comes out. They've run a lot of I so far, and they've been pretty effective out of it. They've done a good job with the play action and just running the ball up the gut here out of the I. Lakeman gives it to Storm. Storm out at the line of scrimmage here. Great job by that Arizona defensive line. And one thing I wanted to say, Chad, just quickly is, while we've said neither team has grasp on this game, I do think Charleston has just looked a little bit better so far.
So far, yeah. I mean, their offensive line could do a little better, as we just saw. There are times that they completely break down, and it does tend to hurt Charleston in the long run.
Lakeman throws over the middle. It's picked off once again. Another interception for Lakeman as that one is taken in the secondary, and that interception was by Sean Moore, the linebacker, who's back in coverage.
As you look, Lakeman stops, sets his feet, and he throws it, but he leaves the receiver too much, and the ball lands right in Sean Moore's hands. And it was kind of a very early Christmas gift for Sean Moore there, that the ball was thrown right to him, and gives Arizona that chance again to punch it into the end zone.
1st down and 10 for Jackson and the Scorpions now. 2 turnovers on the day for Charleston, who leads despite Moses the second with a good carry there for 3 yards. And we have a game update live from the studio.
Thank you, Petey. Well, in Minnesota tonight, Colin Hart and the Minnesota Legend running all over the Aztecs, but that's a close defensive ball game there, too. 10-3, Legend on top late in the first half. Back to you in South Carolina.
Thank you, Cam. Looks like that's a good game right there, and we got a good game right here. Jackson under center with a back in the backfield. I believe right now. That's right in the backfield. Wright will get the carry right up the gut, and Wright, good carry there. We'll call it about a 6-yard gain. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
I want to point out something that when Arizona went and did that motion, the receivers switched places, motioned over to the other side of the field. If you notice the defense, you could see it. They got confused about what was going on, so that bringing that run play in at that point in time, that was a great game plan right there.
Jackson throws into a tight window to Punk, and Punk catches it. That was a very good catch there. That catch of the game brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it. SFL 4K23. Great catch there.
Yeah, Punk comes across the field, gets right between the 2 Charleston defensive players, and Ashley puts it right on the spot, right as it needed to be. So they're getting closer to that end zone, but as we've seen, they've had a problem once they get inside that red zone of getting the ball any further.
Punk, the leading receiver for Arizona this game, now with 52 yards. That's going to be a toss. Moses makes a good cut up the middle there and will gain 6 yards at 2nd down and 4.
Yep. Arizona going back to what's working for them are these toss plays. These toss plays have worked. They wore that Charleston defense down. And so until Charleston proves they can stop it, keep throwing those at them.
2nd and 4, 2 receivers out right. There's him back in the field, and it's going to be a delayed handoff there. Nice delay to Wright, and Wright got awfully close to a first down, and he does get a first down by the tip of the ball there. It's 1st and goal.
Yeah, that was a real close first down. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody tried to challenge it. But that delayed handoff kind of caught Charleston completely off guard, and it did me also, because the way Ashley stepped back, it looked like she was just going to set up for a pass. And next thing I know, the ball's halfway up the field.
3 receivers out left. Jackson looking to throw. Jackson throws wide open receiver, and it is caught. Touchdown, Scorpions. James Hands with the score. Arizona takes the lead in a back and forth affair.
That was an amazing play call by Arizona there. Charleston came up expecting another run, which has been what Arizona has been doing a lot in the red zone. So they brace for that run, and he just burns the secondary and is in the end zone wide open.
Scorpions score, and now they will attempt the extra point. Delaney already with 3 field goals on the day. This is just easy money on the extra point, or at least it should be. Golly gee, I hope I did not just announcers jinx Delaney there. Oh, it was a little bit of a bobbled snap, but the kick is up and good. I almost did him dirty, but I did not do him dirty there, Chad.
Oh, I saw the bobble. I was like, oh no, here comes that announcer's curse. And Delaney would have been, I'm sure one of us would have gotten a message through something about that. Somebody would have said something.
There would have been a lot of angry Scorpion fans. They'd say never let that PD's out. The kick is off and it's away. And it will be taken in the end zone. And this is now a good time to let you know that have you ever wanted to be a play-by-play or an analyst broadcaster? We are looking for passionate SFL participants or viewers like you to join the team for the next minor league season kicking off in a few months. Please visit simulationfl.net/broadcasting for more details on how you can get involved and get your voice on the call. So Charleston takes over. Lakeman, after throwing an interception, will look to recover here. Defense showing pressure, and they do bring pressure. Lakeman throws right side, and Storm got absolutely demolished for a loss of 3 yards there. 2nd and 13. Defense pressure got home.
Yeah, as everybody came up to the line, Thomas Parker was sitting there, and you could watch him. He was acting like he was going to come, and then when the ball was hiked, he didn't move, so Lakeman assumed that was going to be an open pass, throws it, and Thomas was there waiting for him.
Looking to throw Lakeman and into traffic and almost picked off again. And I'll tell you what, Lakeman, this is a quarterback that's been great, a rookie of the year, an all-star last season, off to a great start to his career. This has not been his finest night.
No, this has not been the Lakeman that we know from the past. I don't know what's going on, but he really just calm down, take a breath, regroup, and play the game you know you can play.
3rd and 13. Looks like they're going to send a receiver into motion here. That is Francis. Lakeman looking to throw in the pocket, and he's going to get heavy pressure, and yeah, just nothing he could really do there. And as much as Lakeman hasn't been sharp, he just hasn't had much help from the offensive line either. It's going to be a punt.
Yeah, that offensive line just completely broke down there. About the time he goes to throw it, he's got those 2 big old boys in his face, and he takes a hit, and it was a dying duck ball that just kind of flew out there.
So here is the punt by Blueberry. Blueberry's punt is up, and it is a good one here, and it'll be fielded at the 40 where Arizona will now take over.
Yeah, that was a good punt. Not a good decision there on the Arizona returner. When you know you're about to get hit, and you're going to get hit about the time the ball gets there, call that fair catch, because that easily could have been a fumble, and there wasn't an Arizona player that was going to be able to recover that ball that far down the field.
First and 10 for Jackson. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Jackson looking to pass. Steps back, throws over the middle, and Punk! Oh my, what a catch over the middle. Golly gee, Miss Molly, TJ Punk with a one-hand snag. First down, Scorpions.
And that is twice that he has done that tonight and gotten hit while he's pulling the ball in one-handed. He's just showing that, this is the kind of receiver I am. Y'all have heard of Moss. Well, this is Punk. I do it better.
TJ Punk, have a night, leading receiver on the game. Great catch there, first down and 10. Jackson Looking to throw over the middle, and that one was great coverage by the defense. Hit stick, forced the ball out of Hans' hands.
Yeah, Corey Minner was like, yeah, we're not going to have that type of play again. You're not going to get one of those one-handed star catches on me. And he just lays the receiver out. He took that last play a little too personal.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 10. In the backfield, Moses. Man in motion for Jackson. And it's going to be a handoff. Moses gets the carry and is met at the line. It's 3rd down and 9, just outside of field goal range. Big opportunity here for Charleston to get the ball back to their offense.
Yeah, it looked like Ryan on that play. His job was to watch that running back, because as soon as he noticed Moses getting the ball, he meets him right at the line.
3rd down and 9. 3 receivers right, 2 out left. Full spread set here for Jackson. Defense looks like they're just going to drop back in coverage. They do. No pressure. Jackson throws, and it's caught by Hands. James Hands on the sideline with a 1st down grab, and now cooking in business is the Scorpions.
It looks like, Arizona's like, we're just going to pass right now. That's going to be our identity for this half of the game, and it's really starting to work for them. I mean, their receivers are starting to put on a show, and those defensive backs for Charleston are going to have to step up and start making a few more plays.
Yeah, it looked like Charleston just had this game for their taking at a lot of different points, but they had some turnover issues, and that's allowed Arizona to stay in it. Now Arizona looking in a good position to maybe take a 2-possession lead. Jackson stands in the pocket, throws. It is caught over the middle of the field there. That one was caught by Mike Churchill, whose name we haven't said since the first half.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Churchill's gotten his name called in this game. Great pass, great catch by him. And it just looks like these Arizona receivers are going, okay, we know we're going to get hit as soon as we touch the ball. So our main focus is just securing that ball. If we get yards, so be it after the catch. If not, just hang on to the ball.
2nd and 2. Defense brings pressure here, and Moses doesn't care. He drags a defender with him down to the 7-yard line. Mean Moses down to the 7 with a physical run.
Moses comes across that line, gets wrapped up by Thomas, and Moses is like, yeah, no, you're coming with me. We're going to go ahead and move this house on down the road.
1st and goal. Arizona struggled mightily in the first half of this game. They made the necessary adjustments in the second half, though, and they are looking to put a chokehold onto this game. Wing set for Jackson. It's going to be a handoff. This one goes up the gut for nothing there. That carry was to Bismarck Wright.
Oh, that was a hard hit, too, on Bismarck Wright by Thomas. I mean, Wright comes across the line, and Thomas just lays him out, and he goes back about a yard or 2.
2nd and goal. Jackson throws over the middle, and it is caught. And once again, that is a touchdown there for Churchill as he catches it in the end zone, and Arizona puts a stinger in there for the Predators as they now have a 2-possession lead and an opportunity to go up by 13 in a game that was closely contested. The Scorpions starting to show their strength.
Yeah, Churchill, breaks towards that goalpost a little bit, and he's like, hadn't got my name called hardly. Let me go ahead and just make my presence known here. And amazing play, but Charleston still has plenty of time to go ahead and turn this back around.
No doubt about it, and it's still a long way to go. Delaney's kick is up and good. It's 23-10 now in favor of the Scorpions. And I just want to say, too, there, that was just a good job finding the soft zone in the zone defense. Churchill just made a nice there, found a little pocket in the zone, and was able to come down with a catch. Really good job there by the receiver. And now for Charleston, though, they're certainly still in this game. There's a lot of time to go. This game is not over by any means. A 13-point game with 3:24 to go in the third. Are you kidding me? That's just football. But Charleston has to be feeling like they need to get points on the board this drive.
Yeah, and they know, their run game has been working, and that pass game is just kind of falling apart a little bit here. So you're looking at it from Arizona's point of view. Is Charleston going to lean more on that run game? And do we go ahead and try to stop that run game here? But if we do, are we going to be able to stop that passing game if they decide to switch over to it? I don't know. I feel like Charleston's going to continue to lean more on that run game than they are the pass, just because the pass hadn't been working for them that much this half at all.
First and 10 from Charleston's own 25. And like I said, a ton of time left. They can run their offense however they see fit here. If they want to still pound the rock with Sarah and Storm, they absolutely can do that. Looking to pass is Lakeman. Lakeman throws over the Storm, and just once again, it just seems like the offensive line isn't holding contain long enough, and they're just allowing the pressure to get home, forcing Lakeman to quick outs.
Yeah, Lakeman's having to dump this ball off a lot sooner than he wants to. And again, he dumps it short behind the line. And that time it was Nathaniel Diggs that was there waiting on that pass play and was able to stop it at the line of scrimmage.
Lakeman looking to throw again. Throws. And it's picked off. It is picked off in coverage. He threw into a sea of players there. Arizona taking control of this one now. That one was picked off by Terrell Davis. Dropped one earlier, made up for it there.
Yeah, again, it all goes back to there's hardly any protection right now for Lakeman on these pass plays, and he had to throw it into traffic, and it hit Terrell Davis and kind of in the knee, and he was able to secure that ball and come away with that interception. So Charleston's got to do something to fix that, but right now they've got to concentrate on bending and not breaking, because if they give up another 6 points, that's going to be a hard road to come back from.
Will be. Well, let's see what Jackson and company do here. Defense needs to make a big play. Jackson throws over the middle. Caught. Who else? TJ Punk takes the hard hit over the middle and comes down with the ball. First down, Scorpions. They are cooking.
Man, that was a great play by TJ Punk. I mean, just having a game. I don't know what else to say about the young man. Have a game. Have fun with it.
92 yards on the day, as you see on your screen right there, my friend. It's going to be first and 10. That interception by Terrell Davis was his first as a member of Arizona. It's a handoff, and Moses breaks the tackle, fights forward, puts the shoulder pad down, and the hardest 3 yards you'll ever see a player gain, 7.
I don't know how that wasn't stopped in the backfield, because about the time Moses got the ball, he took one step, got hit, and still had enough in him to roll off that hit and gain 3 yards. So great running there by Moses.
Second and 7. Jackson looking right side, all day in the pocket, all day, throws, and it's picked off! Interception, Charleston, the play they needed, and it's going to go down the sideline. Here we go, another spin move. Still on his feet is Blotner, and it's first and 10 from their own 32-yard line. Who else but Blotner to save the game potentially for the Predators?
That's the exact play Charleston needed from one of their players. I mean, she throws it, Blotner breaks on it, he's right there in the middle, takes off. I personally think he may have been able to get a 6 out of this. It had been close, but he made that spin and he spun right back into some Scorpion players. But that was the play they needed to keep this game as close as it is.
The game still alive. If they gave up a touchdown there, the Predators, that probably would have been ball game down by 20 this late. I mean, certainly would have been over, but midnight would have been coming soon. First down and 10. Lakeman needs to lock in. The offensive line needs to get better protection here. Let's see if they can do it. Lakeman throws, check down Storm, and Storm stays on his feet. Saren Storm carries a defender for the first down. First down, Predators.
A great play. I mean, that's that dump off again to Storm that they've been doing. It hadn't been working. He was able to break that tackle. Now, I'll be honest with you, I think he was short of the first down there, but we'll see if anybody wants to say anything about it.
It's 23-10. Charleston looking to get a drive together here, though. They are a 4.5-point underdog at home. They're looking to steal their first win of the year. I formation. It's going to be a handoff. This one goes up the gut. Hoagland, whose name we have not said, I don't think at all in the second half, gets a good carry there, 4 yards. And once again, Chad, they can still run their offense however they see fit. They are not in a hurry here. If they rock, they can still pound the rock.
I mean, Jacob Clear is going to run his offense. Just no doubt about it. He's going to run it the way he wants to. Great coach. But right now, that offensive line is causing Lakeman to have a hard time, and it's making these running backs work harder than they probably should to gain these yards that they've got to have.
Lakeman looking to throw. And it's picked off! One-hand snag! Oh, my goodness! What a great play for a defender there. Who said that defenders can't catch Terrell Davis with a second of the game, and he snagged that like he was going for the cookies. My goodness.
Man, Terrell Davis gets his first interception as a Scorpion earlier, comes back, does it one-handed this time, He's starting to show out a little bit in this game, and the Scorpions have pretty much just kind of taken control of this, and I'm not real sure what Charleston needs to do to turn this around. Can they get another interception?
1st and 10 for Arizona. It's going to be a toss right side. Moses tackled in the backfield, and I saw someone in chat said this is setting up to be another 23-20 loss for Charleston, and I hope not.
Yeah, you don't want to keep dropping those type of close games through the season because you're just not going to have the year you want to have.
2nd down and 10. It is ironic how they keep ending up in similar situations every game. Jackson under center, two receivers outright. Looking to throw, and a nice diving grab. TJ Punk having a day, makes it 3rd down and manageable for his offense.
All right, when TJ Punk comes off the field after this drive, the way he's been playing, somebody get that man a cookie, something, steak, because he has been the main show on this field for Arizona this game.
3rd and 4. Huge play here for the defense. Jackson looking to throw. Action. Throws over the middle, and it is caught. Great catch down the sideline there, and that by the tight end, I do believe. Yes, it was Will Todd with the reception. And one thing I'm noticing here, Chad, is just Arizona's offensive line is giving Jackson all day, and that's been the biggest variance between these two teams.
I mean, they've given Ashley Jackson enough time that she could go get a hot dog and still come back and make a play.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 23-10 in favor of Arizona. We'll be right back.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back, PDJ Zeller, alongside my good friend here, Chad Stinson, and of course, Cam Irvine back in the studio. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and find the perfect tracks for your project, apmmusic.com. Jackson looking to throw. Throws middle, and it is caught by TJ Punk. I'm running out of words to say.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about TJ Punk. I mean, he has just showed out today, put on a show, showing why he is a receiver, why he's a great receiver so far this season. So, I mean, it's almost like the running core of this team, this game goes, well, we can do this. And then the receivers come back and say, well, we can do this even better.
Jackson, 1st and goal, a long 1st and goal, 10-yard line. Handoff here to Moses. Moses cuts up the middle down to the 4-yard line, refuses to go down, but eventually will. 2nd and goal from the 4.
Punk makes that beautiful catch the last play, and then Moses comes out and goes, well, I'm going to make this run, but it's going to take just about half their team to take me down at this point in time.
2nd and goal, I formation, defense. Stacks the box, they're sending house. Jackson, handoff, and that one will not really go anywhere. It went right, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
Wright really didn't have very many places to go once he got over that side of the line. It was, you go left, you get tackled. You go right, there was somebody there. So he just got behind his lineman and just went as far as his lineman could take him.
Wing formation. And looking to passes, Jackson rolls out right, steps into a throw, throws it, touchdown! TJ Punk puts this game on ice, potentially 20-point lead, maybe if the extra point is made with 8 minutes left. TJ Punk, it's his night.
Oh, great play. AJ rolls out, throws it right to Punk. The defensive player was a little too far away to really do anything about that, so just great play.
I don't have words. I don't have words for the kind of night that TJ Punk has had here tonight. Absolutely dominant in all phases of the game. Here's the extra point for Delaney. It is up and it is good. I mean, Punk's done it all. One-hand grabs over the middle, diving catches on the sideline, catching him deep over the middle, catching him on the sideline, barely in bounds, making cuts up the middle in the end zone. TJ Punk has ran every route you can run tonight, and he has made every catch you can make tonight. If Jackson's putting it in his vicinity, TJ Punk is coming down with it.
He's like a magnet for the ball. Once she throws it up, it could be anywhere, and it's almost like he's going to find it. It doesn't matter who's in his way.
The kick is off, and it is deep in the end zone for the Predators. And here now, pretty much, you're going to have to tell Lakeman to slink because down 20 with 8:45 to go. Midnight's starting to come early.
And really, as a coach, I would talk to Lakeman a little bit, but my main source would be telling that line, you have got to block and hold those blocks to give him time. If not, nothing you can do about it.
Lakeman looking to pass. Decent coverage, throws, and a good one-hand snag over the middle of the field is made there by Warner, the tight end.
And Warner showing that he can do those one-handed catches just like Punk did, so maybe Jacob Clear talked to that O-line. They gave Lakeman a little more time there, so we'll see maybe if they can start to hold those blocks longer and give this Charleston team a chance to come back.
Charleston going to have to keep moving quick here. They want a chance in this one. Lakeman actually handed off here to Moses, or Aaron Storm, not Moses, Aaron Storm. Storm cannot escape there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I understand you still kind of want to mix in a run play to keep them off guard, but that's not what I would do. And I would almost be in a 2-minute offense at this point. You've got to get to that line a lot quicker because this clock is starting to become your worst enemy.
2nd and 8. Game. It was Storm actually started the game with a pretty good first half, but here in the second, Storm has just not been able to get his legs under him, it feels like.
Yeah, they were able to kind of put a clamp down on Storm and hold him. And on that play, you got to remember, late in the game, you still got to run north and south, not east and west. You're not going to go anywhere east and west. Maybe backwards, that's about it.
Lakeman throws deep over the middle. He finds his man. It is caught there over the middle of the field, and that will keep the drive alive here for Arizona as Honus Odeby, who had the touchdown earlier, catches that one. And oh no, Odeby goes down. It's going to be a big loss for the Predators if they cannot get him back.
Yeah, this is not the type of injury you need this late. And that was almost the same play that they had a few pass plays ago that got on the yards. But this time, Odeby just takes a hit, and hopefully it's nothing serious and just kind of the wind knocked out of him, because if it's anything worse than that, that's a real nail that you don't want to have to watch get hammered in.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line of the Scorpions. It's going to be a handoff. It's going to go to Hoagland. Hoagland breaks a tackle down the sideline. Hoagland could go the distance, not quite. Touchdown saving tackle there at the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
Yeah, great run there by Hoagland. Able to break some tackles, take off. But I think after that last tackle that he broke, you'll see it here in just a second, right there, he breaks that tackle. And I think that took a lot of energy out of him because that was Eddie Gage he had to try to get through. And Eddie doesn't miss too many tackles. So when Eddie hits you, you know you got hit.
1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Lakeman looks like defense stacking up. Maybe they're dropping back now into coverage, expecting a throw possibly. They're going to send a man into motion here. It's Reed. Reed lines up right side, recognizes man coverage, does Lakeman. And it'll be a handoff. Storm, nothing doing. That run game got absolutely stifled there. It's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, Arizona came up into the box, and again, they did what they have been doing all game at this play, and they just kind of blew that offensive line backwards, and there was just nowhere for the halfback to go, and that was the end of that play.
Lakeman once again doing some motion here, Francis in motion to the left-hand side of the field. And it's going to be a handoff again. This time Hoagland. Hoagland gets outside but cannot quite have the speed. It'll be 3rd and goal after a gain of 7. Hoagland, though, with a couple of nice runs.
Yeah, Hoagland gets through. He cut towards the pylon. I'm like, all right, I think he's going to get in. And then Moore is just able to still kind of keep up with him and dives towards the feet and is able to trip him up a little bit.
3rd and goal Francis set in motion to the right side. Once again, shows man coverage. Looking to throw. Lakeman. Good protection. And it's picked off. It is picked off, and that might be the last nail in the coffin there, as Arizona with their, I believe, 4th interception game.
Yeah, I want to say that's their 4th interception. And Lakeman just, I don't know who he was trying to throw to, he just underthrew it. Not sure what happened, but there was nothing but just Arizona Scorpions there for that. So if Arizona runs this clock like they have been, that might have been the last time we see Lakeman on the field this game.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. And we will see what the defense for Charleston can do, as they're going to try to keep the dream alive here. 5:33 to go, and it's all Scorpions in a game that was closely contested in the first half. Throw and catch made there by Churchill. And this was a closely contested game, Chad. It was by no means a dominant Arizona performance, but in the second half, they made the right adjustments in the locker room.
Yeah, this was just a tale of 2 different halves for each team. I mean, Charleston had a good first half, not a good second. Arizona came out and had an amazing second half, but their first half wasn't as good. So whatever was said in the locker room just completely changed Arizona's outlook on this ball game.
Jackson hands off. This one will go to right. Right runs for the first down. First down, Scorpions. And for Arizona, a rough start to the year. They lost 28-0 to Canton. It was looking like they might have a special defense. They bounced back last week against LA, though, put up 47 points in a 20-point victory. And now here today, after getting it going in the second half, they're up by 20 against Charleston, who is in danger of dropping to 0-3, but was a playoff team last year. And this Arizona team we're talking about a team that's been in multiple championship games over the last 4 or 5 seasons, a team that has made multiple deep playoff runs, has been a factor for the title pretty much every year of the last 5 years in this league. People thought that, as here the handoff to Balmer gains 3, people thought that maybe this might have been kind of the start of a downward spiral for an aging roster in Arizona. But I think they showed here in the second half tonight, Chad, that this is a team that is very much still a threat in this league.
Oh, yeah, they're very much still a threat. But, again, they've got to kind of confirm what their identity is going to be, because you're not going to win every game playing one great first half or one great second half. So you've got to play the full game. And they kind of still had a problem doing that tonight.
Handoff there to the fullback, goes up the gut for not much gain there, and that one, Cooper Allen for her first carry of the game.
Yeah, that was actually a great run by Allen for her first, because she kind of does a little shift to the right, brushes off the defensive lineman as he comes by, and just kept on down the field.
First down and 10, 3:35 to go, and Arizona doing exactly what they wanted to do here, just bleeding that clock out and trying to take this one home to the bank.
And I wouldn't change it, just eat that clock as much as possible.
I completely agree, Chad. It's the smart way to do it. Wing set here, and now Balmer will be sent in motion, lines up as a receiver on the right-hand side, down to 3 seconds. Jackson leads it dry, hands off here to right with a spin move, right up the gut for a gain of about 15, we'll call it. First down and 10, and Arizona, they've just beaten the soul out of this Charleston defense, and they've taken complete control here at the end of the game.
Yeah, they wore them out early with those toss plays, and each one of those toss plays, they were a little different the way they were set up, but they were just able to slowly wear that defense down that first half, and that may have been the plan the whole time, not sure, but it has come back later in this fourth quarter to show once that defense gets wore out, it's hard to stop the offense.
At the end of the third quarter, in our other broadcasted game right now, Minnesota leads 13-6 over Mexico City. Back here in Charleston, South Carolina, Jackson hands off to Balmer, and Balmer only gains 1 yard there. That probably will take us down to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I don't see Arizona running another play. Go ahead, let the 2-minute happen, and then hike that ball again. But I do want to point out one big difference we have had in this game is the turnover ratio between the two quarterbacks. Ashley Jackson threw 1 interception. Lakeman has thrown 5. And it has a lot to do with their offensive lines, where Arizona's been able to hold their blocks, Charleston has not, so that needs to be fixed.
All right, that is the 2-minute warning. So we will take a quick timeout. We'll be right back on the other side of this 2-minute warning. Back here, my friend, PDJ Zeller, alongside my good pal here, as we're here with Chad Stinson. And back in the studio, it is Cam Irvine. And it's going to be a first down play here for the offense. Arizona will be a handoff to Ballmer. Ballmer with a good carry. Ballmer breaks it, and he goes for a first down. And now the first time out will be called by Charleston. But before we get to Chad's thoughts here, tomorrow night, SFL action on YouTube begins with a battle of 2-0 teams in Texas, Alamo City and Houston, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other games include Indianapolis versus Jacksonville, San Diego, Portland, and Louisiana versus Denver. For the full schedule, kickoff dates and times, visit simulationfl.net. Jackson hands off here. It'll go to Moses. Moses, nothing doing there. 2nd and 11, second timeout used by Charleston.
I want to point out that we got a super chat by, if I can read it from here, I believe it's Yuki. Which says, most likely a few well-placed explicits. So, it was a $2 super chat by Yuki there.
We appreciate the super chat there, Yuki. Great job. Always appreciate our super chats. Handoff here to Moses. Moses up the gut on 2nd down. He'll gain 8. It is 3rd down and 3. Final timeout for Charleston. First down ends a game that was effectively already over.
Yeah, if Arizona, I'm not going to say they're going to get it, because I don't want to jinx anybody and me be the reason that it happens. But if they pick up this first down, that's pretty much going to be all she wrote for this ball game. Well, that will be actually all she wrote for this ball game.
Wing set for Jackson, 3rd and 3. Looking to get a first down to end the game on their terms. Ballmer gets it, and Jay Ballmer, the fullback, steady, ready, and he gets it done. First down, Arizona, and with that, the Scorpions are going to take a few knees, and they will move to 2-1 on what was a rocky start to the season. Still find themselves a winning record after 3 weeks. And Charleston, after making the playoffs last year, I believe winning a game playoffs actually, they are going to fall to 0-3 to start this season.
Yeah, we just got another super chat in. It's from Arizona Scorpion saying that he loves his ball club and gets the game ball to the defense for holding it down. Sorry.
Yeah, appreciate that. And that was a good hustle play that led to the interception. We'll definitely keep their heads up, I believe, in Charleston. So, good game it will be. The Arizona Scorpions, they're going to pick up a win, 30-10. And if they can play like they did in that second half moving forward, Chad, this is a team that will put the league back on notice.
Yeah, if they continue to play next week like the way they end this week, they'll be good to go. But on the opposite side of the ball, you got Charleston, dropping to 0-3, not what you want, but you can still come back from that and still probably make the playoffs if you can just figure out what's wrong.
Already early in the season, though, Charleston going to find themselves in almost, I'd say, must-win territory next week. 0-4 is a start that'd be pretty hard to come back from. But with that knee, that will do it. Ashley Jackson with a great day. TJ Punk with a phenomenal performance today. We'll break it all down here post-game as the clock ticks down for the final 10 seconds here. And Chad, for Arizona now, a win. And Charleston, you just kind of talked about it a little bit, but this is a team that I'm sure that locker room is going to be very hard week of practice, and I'm sure they're aware of what they...
Yeah, I mean, they can't get down. It's 0-3, things happen, but just work on it. Fix what you got going on.
All right, so that does it. Arizona wins 30-10 as we're going to look at some post-game statistics here. And really, this was a game that was closely contested in the first half. Actually, Charleston until about, I believe, 30 seconds left, or though they led at halftime, but quickly out of the locker room, Arizona took complete command, going out to a 20-point victory here.
Yeah, I mean, they were close. Again, it goes back to turnovers. You had 1 versus 5. And then you had a great receiver like TJ Punk out there putting on a show. The defense was able to come up with, I want to say Arizona's defense, was it 3 interceptions, I believe, maybe? 3 straight interceptions, or oh yeah, it was 5 interceptions. I'm sorry, as we see here, because I don't think there was a fumble any. But they just came back out in that second half and just took over the game and was able to pull away from Charleston.
And Chad, let's do a couple player of the games here. I'll do one and you do one. And my player of the game is going to be Terrell Davis. Davis, 2 interceptions, an impressive one-hand snag, played great coverage all game long, had another dropped pick. Really a great game for Terrell Davis, just his 3rd game as a Scorpion.
My player of the game, I got to go with Punk. I mean, I really do. He was everywhere on the field. He was a really big reason for the turnaround in the second half for the Scorpions. So I've got to give it to Punk.
Well, that'll do it here from Charleston, South Carolina. My name is PDJ Zeller, my friend. As always, thank you for the pleasure of allowing me your company this evening. On behalf of Chad Stinson, thank you for joining me in the booth. A pleasure calling a game with you tonight. Back in the studio, Cam Irvine doing all the hard work, making things happen. And on behalf of our fantastic statistic keepers here tonight, Declan O'Rourke and Andrew Gibson, take it easy, my friend. We'll see you next time.